I alluded yesterday to a post on the David Pakman Show subreddit. You can find it at davidpakman.com/reddit. I alluded to a post from the user Dragonfruitstill called "How Does the Cult of Trump End?" And we've been talking about, how does it end? Do Republicans at a certain point say, we're done, we're voting out all of the MAGA people? Doesn't really seem likely. Is it with Trump's death or imprisonment that the cult ends? I kind of don't think so. Certainly with imprisonment, they'll see him as a hero. He'll be martyred, and it will be a whole other thing. And what this user posted to our subreddit is the following. I couldn't help but wonder where this cult will end compared to Jim Jones of the People's Temple. That's the drink the Kool-Aid people. Jones utilized sycophants and devotees to murder congressmen and journalists, but was still somehow tempered by the Christian foundations not to go out guns blazing, but resigned to a mass suicide via manipulation. We should call it what it was, a mass murder suicide. Some people were injected with the cyanide. The key difference at the end for Jones was that he had truly given up, lost all hope of surviving after a long string of defeats. I don't see that in Trump and wonder if he's too delusional to ever get to that place. Somehow I imagine him hearing the guilty verdict and still not giving up. And of course, absolutely, even if Trump gets that guilty verdict, and even if he is imprisoned, which I don't think is going to happen, but okay, maybe, Trump may or may not give up. But his followers aren't going to give up if that's the case. He will be martyred and he will be held up as a hero. The critical part here is, does someone come in to replace Trump? And that is what another Reddit user, Reflex Point, seems to be getting at, who said, quote, "It will end when some other movement or leader arises that they latch onto and move on from Trump. Unfortunately, whatever or whoever that is likely to be even worse than Trump. We thought it was going to be Ron DeSantis. He lacks charisma. Some are saying Vivek Ramaswamy, but I really don't see the majority of MAGA land following behind a brown-skinned Hindu guy. I'm not talking the more savvy MAGAs like Elon Musk, but the diehards that make up the base of rural white evangelical America. Maybe it will be a Christian white guy with a track record like DeSantis, but with Ramaswamy's social skills. I don't know who that currently is." I generally agree with this take. What it is going to take, unless we wait 20 years for Trump to work his way completely through the justice system, maybe be sentenced or not, eventually pass away and allow time to pass after that, the faster path to getting beyond the cult of Trump is Trump's role as cult leader being replaced by somebody else. And there's a real question as to who that would actually be. I don't see any great contenders right now in the Republican Party. It's not going to be DeSantis. I highly doubt it's going to be Ramaswamy. People talked about, Tim Scott has, the Christian element and all these different things. Is the Trump cult going to move on to a black guy after everything that they've done? And it just doesn't seem particularly likely. So I agree. The Trump cult ends when someone replaces Trump. Will they be even worse? Maybe. But I don't see this ending quietly. I'll put it that way. Let me know what you think. Curious to hear your thoughts.